Hi, my wise astrology tribe, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. Today I'm here with Ian again, and we're going to do some kind of prediction. He will do some kind of prediction for 2026, and you will be very pleased because my sun in Pisces kind of craziness not gonna come through on this video. Actually, he's so amazing with creating slideshows. Like I'm absolutely adoring that, and you will see, the consistency and how well organized he is. Hi, and thank you so much to coming back. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Definitely, I love preparing these slides, obviously, but I also do it for my crazy brain. So if I don't do these things, otherwise the information, everything I'm picking up on constantly can get also too much. So I'm also doing it for myself a little bit to kind of ground my crazy brain, to give you guys a little bit of a more cohesive storyline as well, I would say.
Very good. Okay, let's
Yeah.
share it and let's see what are we talking about. So we're gonna talk about 2026. And guys, you already know the energy is not easy because we already had the ingresses of Pluto in Aquarius, obviously for 20 years, Uranus in Gemini for 7 years. The notes are changing signs again. It's going to go to Aquarius and Leo. The eclipse already going to start February 17th. We got Saturn, Neptune exact, and it's going to get exact 3 times. But so we're going to talk about that here, and the energy itself, it's not easy. So just stay with us, and we are here to prepare you to make the change in time so your life actually could be easy and like you can benefit from the energies.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do my best to give you guys some actionable steps as well. Although I guess legally I'm not allowed to do it, so use this information um, on your own volition. Basically, it's you have to take responsibility. Yeah, I will do. Let's go a little bit positive. Let's go a little bit negative, and we'll kind of end up somewhere, hopefully in between. And can you see the screen, by the way? Can you see the?
Yes, I do. You
Yeah,
shared,
good.
yes.
hmm So basically, I call this 2026. This is a year that will wake you, or wake the part of you that's been sleeping. And this, let's say, Saturn in Pisces energy in general has been quite heavy. And I said mostly for a lot of, let's say, spiritually inclined astrologers, people are more open and empathetic and intuitive sensitives, I like to call them. It's been a heavy period for you people and for us, but it's getting a little bit better. And we all got a little bit of a taste when Saturn moved into Aries with Neptune. We almost got that tiny or big conjunction, or there was a tiny, let's say, let's say there was a tiny, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway,
Fracture.
fracture missing from the actual conjunction. But now we're getting the kind of like full picture. And in May, June, we got a taste of that energy. And I personally got into a more of like a energetic space. I wanted to really do something again, do something big again. There was energy moving, flowing. So I think a lot of you will also feel it, and the pressure that has been on our subconscious will little bit lift as well. And like it has been feeling almost like we've been sleeping or even wanting to sleep more with this Saturn and Pisces energy. And I see definitely a shift there happening. And some of the things I want to discuss with you, and I not necessarily in this order or that order that you're seeing on the screen. So please stay tuned to the end because I'm definitely mentioning Bitcoin. I will mention the Bitcoin kind of like, let's say 3 to 5 year prediction I have for Bitcoin, so you can hopefully use it and benefit from it as well. Um, I will touch on politics. I will talk about the UNR situation with the W, not to trigger any algorithms here. And I will talk a little bit about what this Saturn and Neptune conjunction will bring very practically in some areas that are more in risk, maybe in some areas that are more influenced by it, and we're talk about a bunch of other things as well. I would say long-term themes, how to navigate this craziness that's going on, and where to go, what to do as well.
Very
Yeah.
good. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, maybe a little bit numerology as well, because we've been and we still are, and probably when you're watching this video, we're in still a 9 year, but we're moving into a 1 year. Now 9 years can sometimes move slow and fast, slow and fast. It kind of go back and forth. But number 1 year, it's all about new beginnings, new starts. The energy immediately is a little bit faster. So be prepared to right now, as we're ending this 9 year, be prepared to let go of things first and foremost, but be prepared for the new things to come at a quicker speed as well. Now, I want to mention again the Saturn Neptune conjunction, because for me it's a huge one. It's basically for us or with us for the next 4 decades, almost 4 decades. So this cycle will work a lot on that specific area of your personal life, but it will influence our global society, our human society, planet Earth, really for a long time and massively, definitely. So whenever a conjunction happens, uh, it always is that something else ends before that. So think of a conjunction like a new moon. So new moon sometimes brings a crisis in order for you to let go of something to start anew. So be prepared for those energies to come, see something is not working, and then move into, okay, so I need to let this go, maybe a little crisis, and then move into the new that is coming. And definitely massive shifts, like Christina already mentioned. Now, I don't want to do everything on my own here, and me and Christina kind of like talked about like how do we engage you guys as well in this, because we know that you're interested in astrology. You're most likely, some of you are very interested in astrology, and you do your own predictions. We want to hear your 5, or let's say the best ones you have in the comments below this video. So, and the first 5 will get our 2026 astrological calendar as well. So there's a prize involved, but guys, we want to know what you guys have in mind for 2026. It can be, let's say a longer term prediction, for the next decade or something, or next 5 years, but give us your top 5, or even if you don't have the energy to do top 5, give us one at least. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, so the first 5 responders are going to get the astrology calendar from us.
Exactly. So be quick. Be quick. Don't think about it too much. You've probably seen a lot of videos already predicting for 2026 and beyond. So yeah, don't be shy, basically.
Yeah.
So let's start off with a little bit of positivity, I would say. And this is a lot to do with this conjunction as well. I titled this slide "The Good," but the good isn't always the good, totally. But there is the trade wars that are continuing and are going on. They will definitely continue. We must be prepared for that. But the positive side I see with this is some of these agreements that are now being formed for the next 3 decades, basically. Of course, there will be reworkings, and the cycle of Saturn and Neptune will go through, sextiles and squares and oppositions and trines, and things will shift and change through that. But this conjunction specifically is quite positively, let's say, aspected, and I do see some of these agreements, or a lot of these agreements, that will come through crisis. Definitely they will come through crisis, and there will be trade wars and back and forths, and tariffs and these types of negotiations, but there is a silver lining there that I see, that some of these will come with a benefit to the, let's say, the normal people, you and I, the supply chain. So it's not all bad. although it might seem, quite dark at the moment. I would allow it for like some time to develop as well. So if you see, the trade wars going on and you don't see it immediately, like you don't see the benefit immediately, just hang on. It's there. It will come.
Yeah, the trade war actually, and also, it could create a Cold War because when Saturn was in Aries, it's ended the Cold War, but also it started as well. So it could start Cold War and end and the trade war as well. And this year, when Neptune Saturn came very close to each other's, actually it was 0 degree between, but only not exact by minute. We had the tariff in US, which is actually was like a mudslide or however you avalanche all over the world, and it's created, like a decrease of the stock. So obviously, with this, with that new trade agreements and trade war, it will start with some kind of market manipulation. But that's the time, guys, when you buy stocks. So whenever you see crypto going down or the market is crashing, that's why you buy it. That's the time for the buyer. So just like everything has a cycle, and Saturn Neptune is a 34 years of synodic cycle, right? So it is going to actually evolve and unfold within 34 years. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it will take time, guys. It's okay. One thing I wanted to also kind of piggyback on you as well is it's like the actually I'll save it for later because I have a slide coming
All
with that
right.
information. So the shadow, a little bit about the shadow. That's definitely happening. No, I mentioned the trade war. So the trade wars will definitely continue. It will take some time for it to kind of play itself out. But like behind the scenes and some of the things that, you know, I guess some of you, obviously, you're more in tune and you're kind of like observing the cycles and you know what Pluto means. But behind the scenes, we can see a lot of like technocrats rising, almost like secretly, but they're amassing, incredible amounts of wealth, incredible amounts of power into very, singular hands as well. Now, luckily, I'll put, let's say, a positive spin on this because there is a chance with these, let's say, more positive aspects that this conjunction is making and this Pluto that's going through Aquarius currently is making is there is a chance that some of these will actually turn more beneficial or more benefic, like we say in astrology, towards the, let's say, regular people, the normal people, the regular Joes, so to speak. Some of them will definitely turn darker as well, and will try to control more, and will try to social engineer, will try to influence more. So it will be a battle of these energies. So just keep that in mind when we are going through this as well. It's
So
not
I
all.
just
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say over here, so a lot of people is against technology, and I'm not willing to chip myself. But just imagine a person who has dementia, ALS, or Alzheimer, or who has a very disabled autistic child. And if they are coming up with some kind of chips, and they already have it, because DARPA already 20 years ago started to printed organs, and like they are really ahead in technology, and that's the shadow of it. Obviously there is an obsession of control the mass, but if you have a child or an adult, like a parent like that, absolutely you want them to have the chip because they can actually have a better life. But just in general, for digital ID, or just to have a chip in you and you will be controlled, obviously it's scary and you are against and you want to backlash. So as above, so below in astrology and everything. So for some people it's going to be life changing and amazing, and some people going to be scared, because of the shadow is really, dangerous. Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely we'll have the best of both worlds. Let's put it this way, or the
Yeah.
worst of both worlds. So we will. It's a lot about working and figuring things out, guys. As well. It's for me, it's always potentials. We're currently tuning into a lot of potential. So each decision and each big decision we make collectively will change the course of how we move. So it's
Yes.
it's it's constantly it's shifting and changing. So I'll give you a quick example. Let's say, Nostradamus. Everybody knows Nostradamus. So Nostradamus gave a lot of predictions that became true, and he saw into the future, and he saw a lot of things way into the future. But like a lot of these things have the ability to change because we make some big change or we make some big decision, and we decide as a species to go towards another route, another path. So we constantly have to choose. A very simple example of this is, like, let's say you're in a marriage and you have this urge. Maybe there's a struggle in the marriage. Then there's a decision, like, do I like go get a lover or do I work on this marriage? Like, that's like the good essence, because if you choose the working of the on the marriage and choose to work on the relationship, the potential of you going into a divorce, all these bad things, it diminishes, and you might actually work on the relationship and get to a much better place, and maybe have another child, or something like that. So these are the kind of like potentials I'm talking about, and with Christina as well. So I want to talk about this because I think this is a really, really important topic. And guys, these figures that are are there and are amassing power. Some of these people have power, and um, they want, and they seem to have a, let's say, benefic or a good intention, or a higher virtue intention for the world and for people. But I am worried about this a lot, especially with the Saturn and Neptune conjunction in Aries, specifically as well, and having it sextile, or having a sextile from Pluto. I do see a potential here for a false prophet, even multiple, unfortunately. But these people will definitely be charismatic. They will seem altruistic, but it's unfortunately a mask. They will definitely try to sell technological advancements as a savior for humankind, for the human race. And like, Christina said, some of these will make sense to you, to us, because they are helping people. A person hearing for the first time with some aid, of course, these are good things that are happening. But behind the scenes, it's a little bit, or a lot, mm, focused towards the fact that these people want more control and want more power over you, and it will be sold to you or sold to us from an altruistic point of view. It will kind of like make sense to you that we are going towards
Just
or down that type of
yeah.
path. Yeah.
Just like ChatGPT, just like Peter Thiel and Palantir, like that is actually the Antichrist itself. And even right now, I was just reading actually an article. Peter Thiel said the Pope is the Antichrist, and I started to laugh. I was like, "Oh my God, you just want to put surveillance on everyone and control everybody. What is wrong with you, dude?" But yeah, obviously ChatGPT is using all your information. For example, you guys know I was talking about that. I did an investigation, astrology, about Sam Altman and actually Shujir, the guy who died by suicide. Obviously, it was not then, November 22nd last year. He been killed because he was a whistleblower. So that's the thing, is they are actually taking your data, and that's very, very scary. And the false prophet, yes, many of them going to come like a helper, but there is the intention behind going to be something like very uh, ominous.
Yeah, definitely. And why I'm kind of emphasizing it so much is I've been preparing for this for like I don't know, like a decade. So I'm kind of like in tune with the energies, but I'm still when I see some of this information, we're still human. Our human brain is very, receptive to, especially when a person is serving it from a place of altruism, like I want to help, this will help, and we will get to a better place. So it's very, very easy to go into, okay, oh, you want to do this? Okay, of course, we will surrender everything to you and just please do it. So let's move carefully. Let's tread carefully here. Let's talk about Europe a little bit. The positives and the negatives. Europe is, if you know Andrea Barbeau, Andrea Barbeau is one of my, let's say, uh, favorite astrologers who's already passed away. So he's a guy who's very much in tune with cycles, and he predicted something that was quite fascinating. And he predicted that the downtime of Europe will be 2026, basically. Europe will be at its lowest portion. And if you guys are in tune and seeing what is happening in Europe, it's very much a good, very, very accurate prediction. Now, the Saturn Neptune conjunction also goes through, and some of the previous ones that we kind of almost made are going through Europe directly. And this will bring many things, but one of the things that has been happening for many years, the Trojan horse, the immigration from, let's say, Middle Eastern countries that was kind of served to Europe as a, let's say, humanitarian mission, is now, if you live in Europe, if you are in Europe, if you've visited the bigger cities in Europe, you can literally see what it has brought. It has brought basically destruction, destruction of Europe's values, like the Western values, and it's a bit of a mess that's happening in a lot of places. Now, this conjunction will definitely emphasize all the pain points, and it will make people wake up to the fact of what has happened and what has been done. Now, countermeasures will start to come as well, like the rise will start, but it will take time. Like it's a 30, for almost a 4 decade cycle. So it will take time. Be prepared for it to take time. Be prepared to see uprisings, unfortunately, violence, unrest, protests, countermeasures to limit immigration. And you can also, I wanted to actually, it's not only Europe, you're already seeing it in the States. States is a huge part. Again, the conjunction is influencing it very directly, the States. So please be prepared to, it's hard to see and say exactly what you need to do, because I'll give you an example of this working in real life is when Trump came to power. Basically, what happened was, even Estonians who were working in the States had to come back because of some sort of their documents weren't 100% correct, or whatever. There were really weird reasons, even though they were working for Apple, for example, big state United States company. So it's strange. This situation is weird, and it will not. I would say it will not get better. It first and foremost, it will get worse, and then as this conjunction will start to turn into sextiles later on, trines, its squares will bring problems again, but it will work itself out in a better, like, I want to say better way, but what I mean by that, it's not good to have your borders open to people who don't want to integrate with the culture. You don't want to appreciate the culture. They don't want to live and contribute to your society, what you've built. So these things will become clear, and most people, let's say, I think they will finally, and we will finally find some sort of golden kind of middle ground somewhere down the line, but it will take a lot of time. And like I said, with the crisis and everything, it will just come through everything negative that I said about already. I don't want to repeat it constantly.
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually checked a lot of countries because I did the astrology marathon with Lada, and also we were already working one part with Victor, and I'm gonna do the first part for Europe. Europe in March going to have a lot of social unrest because Saturn and Neptune going to conjunct actually February 20th. It's gonna be exact February 20th in Pisces season, and we have a Pisces stellium over there as well. So what's happening? We have to check everything with Libra, and we have to check everything with the Aquarius, obviously, and all the fixed stars, not fixed stars, the cardinal signs, because it's gonna happen. Aries, Libra, cardinal, 0 degrees. So that's the word axis. And for example, Iceland has a Neptune and the ascendant in 2 degrees Libra. For example, Saudi Arabia has the Sun 0 degree Libra, United Kingdom, Uranus in 1 degree Libra. So that's all going to opposition. Los Angeles has the moon in 3 degrees Libra, so there is going to be a huge social unrest. And then Palestine, poor Palestine, has Mars in Aries, 1 degree, and then Capricorn ascendant and Neptune. So Saturn conjunction with Neptune going to square to it, and they also have a Saturn Neptune conjunction Palestine in the natal chart. Then we have Iceland also, and Indonesia, Mars actually, it's 0 degree Libra. Indonesia, I told you guys 2 years ago actually, Philippines going to have a lot of typhoons, and right now they got 2 typhoons, and it was all category 5. So we're going to see that kind of weather or water toxicity. But those are the countries. New Zealand also has the sun in Libra, so Saturn Neptune is opposing with it. So this and then by the way, Israel also has ascendant in Libra, late degrees. However, because of the energy it's already traveling with them, it's still going to affect them significantly. I just wanted to say that.
yeah, I will definitely speak about some of the like issues you mentioned, like typhoons and issues with water. Like I have a section for that as well. Um, but I think I want to mention, like you said, California. I think that's spot on from my understanding as well, from looking at everything. Like the West Coast will be specifically influenced by this conjunction for the next, again, almost 40 years, 30 to 40 years. So it's I don't want to freak everybody out, obviously, but it's a lot. If you're there on the West Coast, you need to be, I guess, more careful, and I would probably consider some relocation move as well. Okay, let's talk about this. I specifically am not saying the words out loud, what situation, but you guys can see on the page just to avoid Christina's channel to, let's give
Sensor.
the, but I do see, I've looked at this from many angles. I've looked at this I wanted to see the good and the bad. Obviously, because I live in Estonia. That's my home country, and we're neighbors with this other country that's doing all that business. I've looked at this from negative. I've looked at this from positives. I've looked at this for many years, and I've definitely seen some sort of resolution there coming our way. High probability that it's going to still happen in 2026. I would say every indication that I have, every chart I've looked at is giving that to me. But underneath it is a bit of a problem in my mind, in my book. And I call it false peace. False peace for many reasons, and I'm going to say what I kind of see why this is it. If you look at history, if you look at anything with that country, how they navigate, how they basically manipulate everything, unfortunately, I'm not speaking about the people. You must understand, I'm not speaking about the people right now. I'm speaking about the current regime that's been in power for a very long time. And how they do things is exactly, I say I don't want to invade, then I invade. It's like I want peace, then I don't want actually peace. So this is what I mean. And if they find some sort of resolutions that I'm seeing that they will, it will be there will be an agenda. There will be definitely a hidden agenda that's constantly moving behind the scenes. I'm keeping tabs on it. It's very hard to exactly say what it is, and I'm definitely going to keep you guys. I'm so invested in that that it's almost like I want to bring those lies to light, or whatever you want to call it, because it's so close to my heart. You must understand, if you don't know history, because uh, that country controlled the country I was born in, I lived in. That's my home country for a long time. Other small countries, Christina's origin country as well. So it's not been the best country, let's put it this way. And they don't do things for the people. They do things to control the people, to
Yeah, he is a dictator, and I'm gonna say
yeah.
his name. No matter what, Putin is a dictator. And on the other hand, I just pulled up because I have all the chart over here. Ukraine has Saturn 1 degree Aquarius, and the ascendant is 6 degrees. So Pluto is transiting in it, and they're going to have a Jupiter return because they have Mercury, Jupiter, Venus in Leo, but it's in the open enemies. And sometimes Jupiter return is bringing in an ending, not necessarily blessing, but it's going to oppose its moon. So there is going to be Saturn and Neptune conjunction. Actually, it's new borders also. So obviously there is going to be some kind of loss of territory of Ukraine. And yes, it is just like the Middle East, what's going on in the Persia area, right? Uh, Obviously, that it's going to be, it's not ceasefire. Come on, it's never been. They're still killing every single day people. So how can it be possibly ceasefire? How can we talk about that? And yes, so that's what's happening over here. And then it's going to be a false kind of agreement, some kind of agreement. But obviously there is, because of Europe and the European Union also changing, Orban wants to get out also from the Union. Macron not going to be a president. Macron will have to go. I checked his chart. He also have Libra and Aries influence. So I think before his term, he will have to get out from whatever happening in France. So everything is changing over there. And because of the United Kingdom also has Uranus in the 1st degree of Libra, over there the monarchy going to be shaken, Uranus, right? The whole entire country is under protest. Uranus is protest. People not going to shut up anymore, a lot smarter. So right now, because of we have technology, people can read. We are not only rely on media, which is controlled by either or kind of political party, or both by, whoever both by. And right now, people are opening their eyes, and because Gen Z generation also comes in, and they are really want to push the boomers out, and with that kind of rigidity, obviously everything is changing, and it's not gonna be like before. But yes, Russia is going to, there is going to be some kind of forced peace over here, I mean. And Trump not going to be able to control Russia because Putin has a lot of blackmail on him. So come on, I mean, what came out right now and what I was reading, it is such a reality TV show. This is terrible, just on the dark side of reality TV show, because it involves human trafficking. So that is terrible. But yes, you're right. There is going to be some kind of, forced peace over there, but it's not going to stop. And the border's going to change and Ukraine going to lose territory.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Um, okay. I'm just looking at everything that I'm saying. I'm doing my best to definitely find a positive spin here, guys.
yeah,
But hopefully we'll get there. Let's say the Bitcoin. Maybe the Bitcoin will save us here. Um, but I want to say about this one. It's I guess it's not the most important, but it's a little bit important now because you can see everything that's going on. Obviously, West Coast, Canada, um, definitely Europe as well. UK really badly influenced by this drug problem, um, and it's been inflowing for a lot of time. There's been huge problems. Even I think in Spain, I just saw there was again like a huge shooting between the military and these gangs. It's happening. Obviously, Trump has now officially, I think it was yesterday or the day before, went into it's kind of like a war already with Venezuela with the drug lords. So I definitely this trend will 100% continue. Like Saturn, Neptune, Aries, it's war on drugs. So a lot of it will happen in Europe, United States, Canada, with Latin America as well. Now, one hidden thing that will be not be so, I guess, well televised or in media, uh, Russia and Ukraine. God, now I said it out loud. Okay, let's see what the algorithm does. But what is going to happen there is all of these people who have been influenced by the war itself now will go back, and they will cause, because they're suffering, they will also go into drug use, and it will cause these countries a lot of issues and problems. Now, Russia doesn't show it, even Ukraine doesn't show it. So it will not be televised, but it's all, I would say it's already causing issues, but it will become a big problem there.
Yes, PTSD and war. It's that these people have to kill in the name of the country or for orders because maybe then they don't have another. I don't know. I mean, it's terrible. And they need medication and pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals are drugs, so obviously there is going to be a lot more. I just want to say something over here as a side note, because Neptune also propaganda as well. It could bring in lies. And, we already had Saturn Neptune conjunction. It started 2023. And, when Saturn went into Pisces, so they got very close with Neptune. And that was a war already on big pharma. And, like people go to holistic and doesn't necessarily want to use, drugs. And I predicted that 2 years ago, it's going to be a war on, drug war. But right now, what Trump is doing actually for Venezuela, it's not necessarily going for the drug because from Venezuela, we barely have drugs from there. Actually, we still have it from Mexico and Ecuador, and Colombia is really big. Actually, Venezuela, it's like 60% of the oil. Neptune is oil, right? So they
Exactly.
want to have the oil, they want to have regime change. Why? Because they want to have Venezuela resources, and Venezuela has a lot of unbelievably amazing resource what the US doesn't have. So obviously, it is the name of the drug war, but it is not. It's the oil war again.
Yeah, I
So
think that's a really good point. I think that's like the almost like the hidden. I think Christina hit the nail on the head because, like, we will see a lot of that as well. Like going into war for fighting something that's seemingly, high virtue,
yeah,
but underneath it's more like we
yeah.
want the resources, we want to get what you have, and it will be manipulated, etc., etc. Now, maybe a positive spin would be that this cycle, I do see, because there's a lot of good aspects. Like I said, it does to me speak of, if you know about Portugal, like Portugal had a pretty successful, let's say, war on drugs a little while ago, because they kind of made these programs more helpful for people. Obviously there are laws still in place, but I do see like some success stories coming out of this as well. If we're literally talking about like drug use and abuse, I do see some countries will definitely um, reorganize and restructure how they, let's say, deal with the drug problem in general.
Yeah. And that's definitely force flag operation because
Yeah.
Saturn in Aries, it's in fall, right? But it's also something to do with the general to war, guns and things like that. And Neptune could be fogginess. So that's why it could bring in a lot of false flag operation in countries. So they pretend, Neptune propaganda, they pretend they are fighting for this, but underlying hidden, they totally go for something else. Yes.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I also wanted to say about like the false prophets and things being sold to
Mhm.
us. Like this is constantly happening, and
Mhm.
like, remember, we're humans, so we're empathetic, we have emotions, we're feeling. So if we see and feel and kind of like,
Mhm.
oh, maybe they show us some, very emotionally triggering images or videos or whatever they're showing, and then you get drawn into like, oh, let's go and fight for this cause. You will probably find out that these causes are, you know not what you signed up for. Let's
Yes.
put it this way.
Yeah. Yes.
um okay, Greenland. So Greenland is
Mhm.
a little bit of an interesting topic. But I do see, very bluntly put, I do see a new ruling body come into Greenland. It's happening behind the scenes, definitely, slowly. Right now, as we speak, this conjunction will still, it's literally going through the MC. The MC line is going through Greenland. So this almost always talks about a regime change. Um, Now, the big question is, who will get it? The who will be the ruling body? This is a little bit of a tricky one, because Saturn Neptune, to me, tells me it can be done behind the scenes somehow. Um, we will. I would say my big money is still on the States, I would say. And let's see how it pans out. But definitely a new ruling body, resources. There's huge amounts of resources. Again, like we said, like again, they might say one thing, oh, we're going in to like help the Greenlandic people, but it's more like, we want your
Do
resources.
you
We want
have the
this land.
Greenland, by the chance, if you can tell me, do you have the Denmark astrology chart for Greenland? Or
No,
which one do you use?
so
Denmark.
I don't even look at specifically Denmark, or I don't even look at Greenland. So how I look at these things, I look at the conjunction and where it goes through
Okay.
on the astro map. Basically, I do astrocartography, but
Okay.
from a country and conjunction perspective. So that to me, when just give you a little bit of a, maybe the viewers a little bit of an astrology lesson. When Saturn and Neptune conjunct are very much to do with regime changes in general. Think about the rise of communism, the rise of Bolsheviks
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
Russia. Think along the lines of that. And right now, this conjunction, the upcoming conjunction, is literally going through Greenland. MC line is going through Greenland.
Okay.
MC is the government.
Yes.
So put all of these kind of bits and pieces together. Now, where I'm kind of like conflicted is, it can be, because it's Aries, it can, like you said, false flag, it can be like a military operation, basically.
Mhm.
It can easily be that. But for some reason with Greenland, I don't, it's like, it's almost like a quiet eroding as well, that's constantly being done there. Maybe there's like people manipulating the locals, etc. And then they will do, when then they will kind of like do the change.
Do you know any other countries where it's going through? So did you
Um,
check anything? So Greenland is one.
definitely checked. I can't remember right now.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm just, like France or, like something because I do see Europe is in. Yeah, okay. I'm
yeah,
gonna check it, but that's a great information. Thank you.
definitely check it. Specifically, remember basically like this MC, the government, I see the people. So yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Yes.
Now, guys, I want to really kind of prepare you again a little bit more about what this will do, everything what the propaganda, what the information wars will basically do to your consciousness, and kind of like to prepare yourselves for this as well, because right now our consciousnesses, our big consciousness, human consciousness, is definitely under attack. There's so much misinformation. The propaganda is rising from both sides, east, west, Christian, Muslim, you name it. Basically everybody's pushing their form of truth. Now, again, as an empathetic, feeling sensitive person, it's easy sometimes to go into these stories. Reality check. It's not east, west. It's a lot about special interests, big interests, trying to push their agenda to almost like recruit their warriors. Um, for me, following these types of bigger groups, bigger agendas right now, it's not a good idea. Again, like I said, you will be pulled towards something you didn't actually sign up for. Scammers, want to mention scammers. This will get even worse with the scammers. There will be a war on scammers. They will try to stop the scammers, but there's so much going on. They have so much technology at their disposal. It will get worse before it will get better. So, having good education related to technological matters, deep fakes, understanding um good practices are like with your spouse, with people you do business with, you do money with. Good practices are like, okay, so if I get an urgent request from you, let's put it this way, or my wife or whoever, my child, maybe my teenage son or daughter, that I have a plan in place, because the deepfakes, the audios, the videos, everything will get so realistic. It will be easy to manipulate anybody basically. And I've been in the tech world for over a decade, and I still get surprised by sometimes how far they are taking this. So guys, be prepared. Definitely, what I do recommend is, every time you can do this, nature, close everything, go into nature, meditate, be on your own, just don't even think about it. Do focus on yourself. The answer will start to come. You will start to understand where and what the truth is, and it's never east or west or south or whatever. So that's all nonsense. um yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say about this. And it's just kind of want to prepare people for what it's about to come, because it's a lot, especially for a sensitive person whose nervous system is constantly under attack anyway. So you really need to understand this. Uh, Jesus, I've been pretty dark still, I can see. Yeah. Uh, let's talk about this as well, because I do think this one has a kind of like a silver lining. In the end, there's a silver lining with this slide and this theme topic. Now, a lot of people have already went into like ChatGPT and AI, and during difficult times, I see people, using it for like emotional support and all these types of things, and almost like it's become like a substitute for real relationships, because a lot of people have been hurt. Specifically, they've been hurt by previous relationships, their childhood, all lots going on. and it's easy to get lost in that online world because it's getting better and better, and it's more enticing, and it's in inviting you in. But there's a darkness there, and a lot of that darkness will start to get obvious again with every conjunction, every deep theme. There's a crisis before it gets better. Now, it will become blatantly obvious for many people that there's a lot of emptiness there, and this is where it gets to, let's say, a better future, better vision. A lot of those people who will get lost in that will will become so disillusioned with that world, they will turn away at first completely. They will turn to nature. They will, go away and form smaller communities, smaller, let's say, towns, whatever, and then they will turn back. Obviously, it goes like a cycle. But like the main message I have with this is, if you are already experiencing that digital depression, let's call it that, or digital emptiness, start moving away from it slowly. Even like walks in nature, like talking to a real person, going out and communicating, doing things like that. This is how humans are supposed to be. Like, even if you're having a Zoom call have it with a real person. Like, don't don't go insane, trapped with the AI. It will, in the end, it will try to take your soul, and that's one of my things that I don't want to happen. And I already see it happening with a lot of people, and it's worrying. And these conjunctions, these astrological influences, as above so below, you, like Christina said, this is true. If we always get a choice, we always get a decision, free will, because the decision right now with this conjunction will be, if we go more into, there are other influences as well, but if we go more into that digital world, we will start these smaller communities who actually want to be human, want to engage with nature, and it will turn into a bigger movement in the long run. Yeah, guys, even if you're lonely right now, the AI won't help. Going into real world, real relationships, trying to form real partnerships, that will help. That will help.
Yeah, make sure you are surrounded by like-minded people, first of all, and make sure you are doing positive every single day, like helping your neighbor, old neighbor, invite them for dinner, cook for somebody, go to homeless shelter to feed the homeless. We do that a lot with the children. And surround yourself with nature. Nature gardening is really good. I was talking with Crossy, and we both are really into gardening, that's really going to ground you and get away from AI, and barefoot if you can, live in a place where you can be barefoot all the time. But that's amazing, because you are grounding and you get away and have real human connections, because yeah, AI is taking our soul.
Yes, and I guess this is kind of like continuing. Like, I do see, and I'm already seeing, like, these small pockets of new communities forming, and I like this is my opportunity to give you guys as well. I'm not saying all of these are clean. These communities, I've been a part of, like, online, offline, kind of like spiritual communities, maybe entrepreneurship communities, and not all of these are clean, and people have a lot of issues, and jealousy, all of these human emotions also come into play there as well, like, in a wider society. And
Mhm.
not a lot of people have yet learned emotional maturity. And what I mean by emotional maturity is when I feel jealous that maybe you are successful, but then I just feel it, that I'm jealous, and then maybe I even say it out loud, like, hey, I'm a little bit jealous that you're more successful than me, but I'm man enough to admit that first and foremost, and I would like to have that success, but I'm also at the same time I'm happy for you that you achieved that. Like that's an example of emotional maturity, because then you don't get lost in the darkness. Then you don't get lost in like trying to inflict or pain or trying to take things from other people. So be prepared when you go into these communities, when you go outside of the mainstream, which I do at least with one foot. I do recommend this. This is what I'm doing personally. Is like be okay with some of these things not working out, and kind of like going again and forming new ones and helping people, like Christina said, neighbors, all of these people in the near community. This is where a lot of the work has to be done in the next decades.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about a bit about Bitcoin. It should make at least some people happy. Mm. So I'll give you guys really my understanding and how I personally, you can trade Bitcoin, you can invest in Bitcoin, you will stocks, everything. But this is where I see Bitcoin going, and this is my prediction. You can obviously quote me on it. You can save it. Obviously, it's recorded and on YouTube and etc. etc. But my target in the next 3 to 5 year window is exactly 247,000 US dollars. And obviously, please, this is not financial advice. This is my prediction. Um, Volatility always a part of Bitcoin. Please understand it, because it's Bitcoin. Obviously, it's internet money, basically. Um, but I do believe there's an opportunity here for many. Mm, Again, very, very risky, and you have to be emotionally grounded to do everything with the markets anyway. But I just wanted to give you guys this. Hopefully it helps some of you. I don't know, Christina, you are also very much into Bitcoin. Do you have anything?
So, yes, I do. The Bitcoin actually has an 8-degree Leo rising, okay? But the moon is in 4 degrees Aries, and Saturn going to go to the moon. That's going to actually, and with Neptune, deflate and the value over there, especially because they have Pluto Mars conjunction in Capricorn. So that Saturn Neptune conjunction going to square with the natal Pluto and Mars. So that could actually do some kind of hacking, stealing from the accounts, right? And then the eclipse, the last eclipse in Pisces, which is going to be in 4 degrees, Bitcoin has an exalted Venus in the eighth house in Pisces. The eclipse going to happen nearby Venus over there. So it's a partial lunar eclipse, so it's not all bad. And it's Archangel Gabriel is over there, forma hot, like fixed star. So it's going to do a saving grace over there. But I do believe Bitcoin could be hacked somehow next year. However, when we're going to have Uranus going to Uranus gonna go to Gemini, right? That is going to have all kind of cryptocurrencies, and that is going to have to actually increase over there. Obviously, when we're going to have, for example, we're gonna have Saturn in Taurus, then it's going to start in 2.5 years to trine with Neptune, with natal Pluto and Mars, and it's going to be a significant increase. So your window of 3 and 5 years, Bitcoin could have the target of 250,000. It's valid, yes. It's valid, but I do see some kind of hacking. However, when Jupiter going to trine Saturn, August 31st, Bitcoin ascendant and moon going to trine, gonna trigger that time. So over there, it's going to increase also by 2026. And when Jupiter goes to start to affect the first house of Bitcoin, June 30th, so it's also going to start to increase as well. But it's very volatile, yes. But right now we have a huge decrease, and Bitcoin is the king because that was the first, right? So the decrease is because I told you guys when Uranus goes back to Taurus, we also always gonna have a decrease, right? And because of by Vedic astrology. Uranus also in Taurus, so both system it's in Taurus, so it's a decrease over there. But yes, the window over here to go up, it is just careful with hacking because even the progress Sun, it's 0 degree Aquarius and Pluto is on it. And when in the natal chart, Pluto actually went transit Pluto to natal Sun, we had a huge hacking in 2014 and 16. A lot of Bitcoin was missing from the new Bitcoin millionaires. So that could increase actually the hacking into Bitcoin. Make sure you have ledger. Make sure you have cold wallet, guys. If you don't trade your Bitcoin because you bought it very early on and you're going to keep it for a long term, just keep it over there because it cannot be hacked yet unless quantum computing going to be available for everyone because then it's going to be everything gonna be able to be hacked. But unless, like just try to keep that on ledger, on cold wallet, hot wallet, whatever you want to, but make sure it's not on Robinhood or wherever you buy it, because that can be very easily hacked.
Yeah, guys. But personally, I even use Bitcoin or crypto ETFs. So that's another
Yeah.
opportunity. And definitely these exchanges, like Christina said, these are, it's very risky, I would say, in general. So remember, it's a very risky asset in general, but it's a sexy asset because of its riskiness.
Do you
Let's put it this.
do you know by the chance that Georgie and the Young Sheldon, do you know the Young Sheldon?
That's a show, TV show.
Yes, 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 yes.
I've stopped watching TV, so
Okay.
I can't
Um,
I know the name sometimes. You say it, I can, but I haven't seen any kind of like show. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to actually share this part with you guys. Let me see
Mm.
if I can share this. Okay, so I'm going to share over here because this is the funniest ever. So I'm gonna go to, where have I been? Facebook. I have been on Facebook, right? Yes, Facebook. Okay, here. And I just want to play that for you guys. Here it is. What Sheldon and Georgie going to talk about. It's hilarious. Ian, do you see the young
Yeah,
Sheldon?
yeah, I do
Okay.
see.
Phrase, you need money to make money. Well, it's a phrase. And my clever twist on it is I'm going to make money to make money. Uh-huh. Now, when I say make money, you might think that I'm talking about counterfeiting, but no, I'm talking about creating a unique, decentralized digital currency that people can pay to own. Sounds like a scam. No, it's an open source currency that has value due to mathematical scarcity. Sounds pretty scammy. You don't understand. I do. You say a bunch of fancy jibber jabber, people don't want to admit they're too stupid to understand, then they give you their money. Well, sorta. Love it. How do I get started? Well, all we need is a mainframe computer. How much is that? New, about $500,000, but I'm hoping to find something slightly used.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. Oh, I don't know how can I stop sharing over here because we both on the sharing. Oh, yes, stop
No, no,
share.
yeah.
Yes.
I just have. I think I have only one kind of like slide more.
No, but I just love that because when I
But
was watching, I was like, I have to show that for actually all my viewers because that was
of
so
course,
fantastic the way it was explained. And obviously, it is kind of, it could be scammy on one way because it is a digital currency. We don't even know who created Bitcoin. We are guessing it was in London, so we're using the London chart, but truly, we don't know who is behind. Is it a government? Is it, the Japanese genius or whatever?
it's
We don't know.
probably the government. It's probably the government.
Yeah,
If
yes.
if I'm
Yeah.
as honest as possible. But like, I'm not a crypto Bitcoin evangelist by any means. I'm very critical of it. I just trade it. I just
Yeah,
trade
me
it.
too. Me too.
It is what it is. We live at a very interesting time in human history. So I'll just leave it at that. Remember, if I have to give, or if I can give you guys some advice for, if I'm entering any position in crypto or that type of a volatile asset, the funds I have available for that asset or that trade have to be the type of assets or resources of money that I don't have to use for, let's say, 3 to 5 years for me personally. Great is sometimes it happens earlier, etc., etc. But that's the baseline I use for these crypto trades. It's very volatile. Okay, let's wrap it up here. So we talked about water here. This is what I also wanted to kind of mention: a couple of places that are, I would say, very vulnerable to issues. It doesn't mean already like immediate tsunamis, but for some of these areas, unfortunately, it does mean that they're more vulnerable to these things. So it can be too much water, too little water, contaminations, accidents, disasters, even like cruise ships, boating accidents, issues with these types of things. So that's all happening. Definitely 2026 is especially risky time for that. Some regions that I identify as, Christina said Philippines. I definitely agree with that. But I want to bring in East Russia, Japan, Papua New Guinea, eastern part of Australia as well, and that kind of ties into also New Zealand also as well. So there are places. I don't want to say like, oh, this all going to be covered in water. No, it doesn't mean that, but there are going to be issues, problems, accidents, disasters, like I said. So be prepared for that. I guess, if it's too little water, sometimes you can be prepared by collecting, rainwater. We do that here in Estonia as well. It's a very common thing we do, just to have water available if there's not enough.
Yeah, in some
Yeah, go
part
ahead.
of US, they don't allow you to collect rainwater because of the mosquitoes,
Jesus Christ.
which is like, what the heck, So this is obviously because they want to, I don't even want to go into it, but it could create droughts because of Saturn. It could create droughts in Aries, or wildfires, for example, wood fires, because Saturn also wood, Aries is fire. It could actually raise the temperature of the water, because of the everything gonna melt. Saturn also ice, it's gonna melt, and that's when Greenland comes in, and Iceland also has a Libra ascendant, and Neptune, obviously, if it is rising because something is melting, it could get underwater, guys. And right now I saw the scientists are creating those in Norway. They're creating those kind of fake ices where the penguins and the seals can go on because they don't have enough ice, so their habitant could stay alive, right, and not be the food of the predators. So they're creating that already. So humans going to get involved, and obviously we want to do something against it. But climate change and climate engineering also an issue, because you saw that what's happened in Dubai, too much cloud seeding. What happened in Texas killed so many kids. We're not talking about that. Come on. I mean, yes, so it is like it's gonna be an issue. And yes, definitely Iceland, Greenland over there, New Zealand, Australia. I wouldn't say also, you saw what's happened in Jamaica, whatever we want to believe on that also, because it was like almost category 6 kind of hurricane. Come on. And Jamaica has bauxite, the red sand right now, and they need the bauxite. how can you actually mine the bauxite if you remove everyone from the island, right? So if they do climate engineering, it could be a new war. And by the way, Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries could be underwater wars, guys. So it could be submarine wars.
Yeah, definitely.
Or on the ocean war and pirate activity. Neptune is pirate activity. So it could create, but I wouldn't be surprised. Uranus goes to Gemini, Pluto also trine with Pluto in Aquarius, trine with Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, very deep. See, that we going to hear, like, because we are always waiting the aliens from above. I truly believe they have a base in underwater somewhere. And we're going to learn about that because we were never able to go so deep with human technology. So we also going to learn about that. But that was really, really great. Thank you so much. And you were so great with your, also with the slideshows and the PowerPoint, and then people going to understand, jumping to here to there, because I'm also like downloading and keep jumping, and it's harder to understand, especially with accent, and we both foreigners. So it is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Guys, I want to just remind you that the fastest five who give their prediction in the comments below will get the 2026 calendar. So
Yes.
astrological calendar. So please have a jab, right jab, left jab, whatever, and let us know, because your minds are unique, and I actually want to know what people are predicting.
Yeah, me too. It would be so nice if it would be a conversation, and not like trolling, like if you have some evidence, bring it up, or say, oh, you were wrong over here, but maybe you didn't see that here. So like, like normal human interaction, and let's talk about that kind of situation. I love that. And we all, yeah. I truly would like that. So yes, you're going to get the calendars, the first five, guys. And please put your email address also, or you don't have to put your email address. Everybody see, but my email address, and then we see who is the first, and then write us, and then definitely going to send you the calendar. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so thank you so much. And I hope you guys liked it. Please comment below and start a conversation. We really would like that. If we don't see you, but you will see me definitely, then Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, like whatever you celebrate, happy and merry. We wish you the best for sure, health and prosper next year. Stay tuned, because if you are prepared, guys, that's why I tell to everybody, it's not fear monitoring, but uh, it's like if you prepared for something, it's easier to take advantage on opportunities and tackle the challenges. Simple as it is.
Yeah, I want to say one piece about that information as well. Is like sometimes astrology can get pretty dark, especially when we're here. Right now in this juncture, we're moving upwards. That's the good news, I would say, from a consciousness point of view. But if you're watching this channel, you're most likely, what I like to say, one of my mentors, Heidi Sawyer, classifies as intuitive sensitive people. So that means your nervous system is very sensitive, and you are definitely more influenced by the things if they happen all of a sudden, or you don't know, you're not prepared. If you are even a little bit prepared, oh, this person said, oh, this is going to come, okay, you're not so surprised, you're not taken out of yourself so easily by these, when Trump raises the flag of America on Greenland, for example. Just an example, I'm just joking a little bit, but like it's serious as well. But like the point I'm making, if you're seeing these things happen, your nervous system is a little bit more relaxed and prepared to take it on.
Yes, definitely. All right, guys, thank you so much, and
Thanks, guys.
bye for more.
Bye bye.
Thank